crazy to fight the president on the border.
Well, you kept saying there are the majority of Californians don't want sanctuary cities, and then all these cities started to vote against it. Let's bring in Tomi Lahren, who lives in California. She's a Fox News contributor and can weigh in on this. Why is border security so important to the folks who do live in California, those who support the president?
Well, as Californians and other border states, we understand that we are the most vulnerable when it comes to these issues, but it's not just us. We just deal with the problem more close to home. This is an American issue. As Brian said, when I hear our president double down on border security, of course that's going to be a winning agenda item for this president and those who choose to support border security. What we really need to ask is, why are the Democrats so against it? Why do the Democrats not believe in the integrity of our borders, our laws, and protecting the American people? That's the question that needs to be asked, not why is Trump doubling down? Of course he's doubling down. This president believes in a secure border.
So, Tomi, let me ask you something. There's a push now with Senator Cory Gardner and some moderates in the House to get something done on DACA before the midterms. The thought was no one's going to do anything else because they just want to go to the midterms with what they've done or haven't done. What do you think about that? The president may be going there and saying, give me the $25 billion for the wall, I'll give you DACA, and I'll go back for chain migration, go back for the lottery. Do you think that benefits him or us?
I think this president has said multiple times that he's willing to compromise, but I think what's most important, not only for President Trump, but for the Americans that voted for President Trump because of his promise to build the wall, is that before we start dealing with those that are already here illegally, that we have border enforcement. That has to be number one. The American people have to trust that first, and then we can have a bigger conversation about immigration reform. But I think to do it piecemeal, I think it's a mistake. I think this president needs to hold his ground on this, and the American people will stand behind him.
Which means nothing gets done, though.
It might mean that nothing gets done immediately, but I think that there's going to be pressure on the Republicans and even on the Democrats to do something, and not just piece by piece, but have real, true immigration reform for the first time in a long time. That's what the American people want. And us as voters, we have to make sure that we make that clear and we vote on that issue.
Well, Democrats, in resisting this president on the wall, have tried to characterize his policies as inhumane, which means when a photo surfaced of caged migrants just a couple of days ago, they went over the edge. Jon Favreau, former speechwriter for President Obama, tweeted, "This is happening right now, and the only debate that matters is how we force our government to get these kids back."
Cages.
As humane kids in cages, and it's got to be Donald Trump. Turns out, oops, these photos are from 2014 when Barack Obama was president.
Well, it turns out that many on the other side are not concerned with the truth so long as they can attack President Trump. This was a great misstep on their part, and it just goes to show that the level of partisan politics in this country has reached such an extreme level that the truth really doesn't matter anymore. You have an image, you circulate it, it's what President Trump calls fake news. It looks pretty bad for them. And moving forward, I hope that as Democrats and Republicans, we can do what's right and we can stand for our beliefs and not just pick the side of who we voted for or our partisan line. That's not what this country is based on.
All right, well, mainstream media heard the story about Cindy Garcia's husband of 15 years. He was deported back to Mexico. Mainstream media runs with it and says, family broken up, husband sent back to Mexico. This is inhumane. This is wrong. Listen to the wife being interviewed, and I don't think mainstream media was expecting how calm she was and her lack of animosity. Listen.
I am not upset at our government due to the fact that I am a U.S. citizen and that our laws come first. Our laws are just broken and need to be fixed. But I can't be mad at Trump for doing his job, because that is his job, to protect us as U.S. citizens from criminals.
Oops, I never expected that answer. If you're on CNN, you don't expect that answer, do you?
Of course you don't, but I think this just goes to show that legal immigrants and even family members of illegal immigrants also believe in border security. There's a reason people come over to this country and they want to live the American dream. It's not just for the opportunities that we have, but it's for the safety that we promise our citizens. So legal immigrants look at our border and they want it to be secure as well. That's why they live in this country, in part, is so that they can feel safe and secure. And there is not an American out there that doesn't believe we need immigration reform. She was exactly right. It's heartbreaking to see families broken up like this. this. But the fact that she appreciates our country and our rule of law speaks a lot to the character of this person.
But Tommy, it's amazing. They say about 70% of immigration reform we all agree on. It's the 30% with the border wall and DACA and the illegals here already, which stops the whole process. We keep the couples together, those people that marry somebody in the, from another country. All that stuff just takes too long and is too costly. The line is too long for people to do it legally, but we all got hung up on the stuff we don't agree on. Tommy, thanks so much.
Thanks, Tommy.
Appreciate it.
Well, a lot of these Democrats did agree on it. Remember back in the day, and then now that President Trump's in office and he wants it, they don't want the wall anymore.
And there's also lots of talk about border security. That means different things to different people.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Harry Reid was the one against the chain migration, said how outrageous it was. There's video of him saying that, and now the whole party, I guess, is for it. Hey, Jillian.
Hi, good morning, Brian. How are you? Ainsley, Pete, doing all right? Good to see you
Just
too.
wanted to check in.
Good morning to you at home. Let's get you caught up on some of the other news we're following starting here. The Golden State Killer may have kept trophies from his victims.